Real world fantasy, we break it down raw. Draft board champs with a playbook to all. High game dishes, the knowledge too deep. From sweepers to stars, we make your team elite.
Welcome into another episode here on Fantasy All World Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm here with another coach out of the best league in the world. And yes, I said every episode, the best league in the world. This is Coach Rah. Coach Rah has been day one of starting this franchise of this league. He's one of the core coaches in the league. A lot of coaches in the league brag on him because he don't have the necessary time to put forth that effort in the league. But I was trying to tell all the coaches his football knowledge, collegiate knowledge is just over the top. I go to him throughout the year. I've been doing it even more and more the past year because I'm not big or don't nor watch college football. But this is Coach Rah, 5 years in the league. No, this is our 5th year. I think this is our 5th year. So this is my brother. Yes, my brother, Coach Rah. Welcome in, Coach.
Yo, what's going on? It's your favorite guy, Rampage, aka Samson Adonis, God like in Hindi, all of the above. Number 5 of your programs, number 1 of your hearts. What's good? I'm finally here, baby.
Hey man, I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate you coming through. I know you're a busy man out here protecting and serve, keeping these streets safe. So I appreciate it, man.
I do what I can.
All right, this episode is about a couple of people have been asking about it to finish the top 24 wide receivers who I think I got going into the 25-26 season. So finishing that from episode 3, I had 1 through 12. So this episode, basically, I'll be going over my 1 through 12 again, but enhancing the 13 through 24, going a little deep dive in a couple of players. Like I said again, every week, every day, the news cycle, media, while I'm listening to other podcasts, things change. So my rankings change as I see the news, as I go through day to day, because all I do is listen to fantasy football, think about fantasy football. And my coach, my brother, Coach Rah, he don't have the time like I do, but his knowledge alone I will put that up against anybody. Yeah, you heard that, Coach Rick. Anybody. All right. And we'll see this year. He had to prove to everybody in the league that he's about that because he has been having some terrible, I don't want to say luck, but his records don't say what I just got some ass, but
I pay my dues. I pay my dues, though, on time. I pay my dues on time.
But again, I'm gonna just go over the top 24, and he's here joining me today. I will be releasing this episode. I'm gonna try to have one every Monday around that 6 to 8 p.m. mark. But right now I'm gonna drop this probably tomorrow, if not later on tonight. But again, I noticed 80% of y'all that tune in, listen, notice y'all not subscribed. So if y'all can take the extra couple of seconds, subscribe. That'll help your boy out a lot. Like I said again, I'm just trying to bring it every day. Every week you go be hearing from me. At least once a week you could be hearing from me. Trying to drop the knowledge that I have and improve not just my 2 leagues that I bring about and talk about in all my episodes, but just anybody in general. That's what I do. I love this shit. But Coach Rah, I'm ready to start the 24. The top 24 receiver list. I got Chase at number 1.
I feel like he got share number 1. And it's always gonna be 1A, 1B with them LSU boys. Always gonna be 1A, 1B.
Okay. Just in case some audience don't know, what's the other LSU boy you talking about?
Justin Jefferson. Gritty.
I thought you was about to say 3. But
He
you didn't
coming.
want to mention your boy?
He on his way.
You don't want
I know you got him probably.
Yeah.
He probably number 13 on your list.
No.
Ooh.
But we'll get to that. Okay. So you pretty much say it can be a tie. It can go either way. So that's cool. But when you heard my number 2, I give you a couple of numbers. Well, just one major number that I would have over Justin Jefferson. And that's the only reason because of the quarterback. I like J.J. McCarthy, but I got to see it. So I got CeeDee Lamb at 2. Where can I? He did it with Dak and without Dak. He led the league last year in broken tackles as a receiver at the wide receiver position. Most yards after contact. I didn't even know that, bro, till today. I learned that today, bro. Listen to another podcast. I think it was the fantasy footballers. Bro, led the league in broke tackles and yards after catch. Didn't know that. Maybe because I ain't really looked too deep into the Cowboys game because I don't give a bro. Don't get me started on that shit. But what you think about me having CeeDee Lamb over Jefferson?
That's a tough call because I can respect he did it with Dak. He did it without Dak. Justin did it with Kurt, without Kurt. Did it with Sam Darnold. Did it with Nick Mullins. He's that guy. The other part is Justin Jefferson, right? To me, never really had a legit number 2. Just anything. It don't have to be a number 2 receiver, a number 2 target person. Right? It's a little, you can say TJ maybe, right? We got the mid-season trade.
What about Diggs? When he was coming in as a rookie, I guess he was saying lately, the last 3 years, because he had Diggs his first year.
No, he didn't.
You sure? Because that's when they let him go. Oh no, you're right. You're right. You're right. They got the resources they got for trading Diggs to Buffalo. They used that draft capital that same year and got. Oh yeah, you're right. So I apologize. Yeah, you're right. Damn. But Addison came on his own last year. The last 6 games.
You know, I had a good 2-game win streak with Jordan Addison. I had a good 2-game win streak, man. My Minnesota stack was like that. You know what I'm saying? I was just going to add that part. I had a good 2-game
win streak.
Oh,
bro.
man, I was up there.
Hey, you still was in the playoff hunt.
Hey, I was in the mix.
You was
like
in the
trail mix, baby. I was in there. But it's tough, you know. It's all about perception. Now, I know you go into your deep dive and the analytics, and you know when I think about you and how you look at your stats. I once seen this one episode. It was some type of football special when they was talking about Belichick when he was coaching Cleveland Browns. He told his staff, "Look, I want you to break down how many times the ball is on the left hash, and then I want you to break down every time the ball is on the left hash, how many times the quarterback looks to the left first, pre-snap, versus how many times he looks to the right." You know, and I know in your stat line when we talk about CeeDee Lamb and his broken tackles, somewhere in your playbook you got it how many tackles he broke when he was on the left side of the ball, the right side of the ball, right slot, right tight. I know you breaking it down like that. And what I like to add to that is you got to look at the system, right? Because now we're going into a running system with a back and a half. Because if you're a Cowboy fan, I'm taking Javonte Williams, my apologies. Javonte Williams ahead of, what's the other back y'all signed? Old Penn State boy. Miles Sanders. He gonna out carry Miles Sanders. I know we're talking about receivers right now.
Yeah.
When I talk about the system, yeah, CD did it with and without Dak. but Jettis did it with 3 different quarterbacks. So it's always gonna be 1A, 1B because Chase did it with Burrow and a few games without Burrow. He's that guy. They on the same plane.
Okay. I mean, hey, shit. No debates right there. All right, so you will have Jefferson either 1 or 2. I got him 3, so it's not that we far off. But the other LSU, I got all LSU. My list. I just realized over the years, LSU breed receivers. So I got Malik Neighbors at 4. I had Malik Neighbors at 6, but the news I heard about other receivers I had in front of them, I didn't like it, so I moved them up. So I got Malik Neighbors at 4. I'm hoping that Jameis Winston start. Go ahead, just put that out there, because if he start, I got Malik Neighbors number 1. You heard me. I got Malik Neighbors number 1. If Jameis Winston starts 12 games, just 12, you know he gonna get 10 plus targets. Fuck that. 13 plus targets. You know he is. And Jameis is not afraid to throw it up. Malik Neighbors, that's all he wants. And you got me. You said, what about the moon ball? Did some research. Russell Wilson led the league last year in air yards and completions downfield, 20 plus. So, if you think about it, and he completed it 50%, number 1 in the league. If you think about that, if he do that 3 times a game, Malik Neighbors coming down with 2. That's the difference between a number 7 receiver to a number 2 or number 1 receiver, is those big plays and touchdowns, long touchdowns. I can see that Malik Neighbors is that good. How you feel?
I would say it was crazy. I didn't even think about him. I thought about the other one.
I got him too. So don't.
I thought about the brand new. Well, he was not really brand new, but he's like solidified the Mike Evans and his new offense. And I totally forgot about Malik. So when you break it down like that, I agree with you. I think whoever starts, as long as it's not the potential rookie we might draft, right? Whoever starts is already coming in knowing they got a guy, right? Russell Wilson came in with his, press conference. No Diddy, already lubing up the squeaky wheels. Already lubing them up. I got Malik Neighbors. I got Wandale.
Come on now.
I got Jalen Hyatt. He already came in lubing them up. No Diddy. He ready to air the rock out. I do like James because win, lose, or draw, I gotta throw them all. Picks, fumbles. I like your breakdown.
All right. So moving on, that's why I got Brian Thomas Jr. at number 5. I had him in episode 3, number 3. I dropped him to 3 to 5 because Trevor Lawrence, man, they still talking about something. He probably won't be ready to start the season after that shoulder surgery. And Derek Carr will be out probably for the year. So, I had Carr at 24, but I completely took him off my rankings. And I dropped Olave, of course. But what Brian Thomas Jr. did the last 7 or 8 weeks of the season, because I'm big on that. You already named one of them. I'm big on 3 things. That's how I'll be successful, or anybody can be successful in fantasy. 3 things to look at. The last 6 to 8 weeks of any season. The reason why you pay attention to those things, because 9 times out of 10, all the organizations in the NFL know where they stand. They either rebuilding, they looking for the rebuilding, tanking for a high draft capital, trying to do that late playoff push, or trying to switch things up because the starters they had in, we will go try the young boys out, the rookies. So I put a lot of wait into the last couple of games because that lead to next year's success. You name another thing about offensive system matters. I didn't notice that till 2 years ago. Offensive system matters. That offensive coach, that offensive coordinator, the organization up top is well ran. It's not just who you got on your team. You need a coaching style. It's proven every year for the past shit for whatever. How many years? Decades. So many people get drafted in these sorry teams, mismanaged, ran organizations that struggle. I don't even blame the players no more. I blame the system. It's proven every year you see somebody go into another system and just flourishing. Sam Donald, bro, seeing ghosts. He went from seeing ghosts to getting paid 3 years, 100 million. I still not high on him, but yeah. Baker Mayfield, Geno, 9 years later. So I put a lot of weight on your system you in. And my third one is youth. I'm going youth, man. When it's a tiebreaker, man, in the draft, those three things come in. What you did the latter part of the season, your age, that age range, because as running backs 28, stay away from them. Because I just feel like that's when they start to decline. Because it's always good to be 1 year ahead instead of 1 year behind. You don't want to be caught holding the bag. And like I said, that system, man, systems matter so fucking much, bro. So that's how I weigh my projections for any position. So I got Brian Thomas Jr. so high, even with Trevor Lawrence injury, is because you see what he did with Matt Jones. I know Matt Jones not there, but look who they got to back up now, Nick Mullins. He's not afraid to throw that thing. And the system coming from Tampa, Liam Cohen. I love it. Trevor Lawrence finally has an offensive coordinator. But let's just see if he can stay healthy. Let's see if he can start the season. But either way, I got Brian. He's too explosive. And again, LSU. He's too explosive, bro. I think he was number 2 or number 3 in downfield yards. And that was after starting off slow with Christian Kirk and tight end Ingram there in the beginning of the season. Once they realized Brian Thomas Jr. is him, they didn't care what quarterback it was. He was hyper targeted. But anyway, I love him, bro. He's too explosive, young, in and out of routes. He can. His separation is. I think his separation is underrated. He's just a monster, bro.
I just want to say I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. Because normally your deep dive into analytics don't involve the free agent signings. And I'm over here, I'm listening to you chat, and I was thinking about Nick Mullins. So Nick Mullins potentially being the starter, outside of the possibility of, we drafted somebody late like a Dylan Gabriel, somebody that comes from a pass happy offense, right? You'll still keep Brian Thomas in your top 5?
No, I would drop him. If Lawrence start the season off on a pup, which I think he will, it'll be the smart thing to do. I would start him off on a pup, so that's 4 weeks. Coming into the season, I would drop him to that first 4 weeks he on pup. I'll drop him to 10. He's just too dynamic, bro. If they just find a way to just get the ball in his hand, he that type of player. So I'm not dropping him outside my top 12. No.
And if you drop him within that 10, within that 12, the top 4 stay the same?
Yes.
Okay.
Top 4. Yeah. My top 4 stay the same. Because I got him at 5. So my top 4 stay the same.
Yeah, Brian Thomas is the closest thing to the freak since the freak. And just in case we got some youngsters on the podcast that don't know, the freak is Randy Moss. Freak of nature. All right? And when you look at his college numbers, leading the nation, which we overlook because of the receivers that went ahead of him, when we talk about Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik, and Rome. The young man is 6'4", ran a 4.3, right? You can create that. You got to create that only.
Madden style, baby.
Yeah, it's not too many 6'4" cats around just out here running 4.3s. I believe it might have been like 4.33 as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and while Malik got the targets, we don't win on targets. We win on touchdowns. So it's gonna be iffy. It's all about how it starts. And with Brian Thomas being your top five, I'm gonna say your number 24 gotta be big play Gabe Davis.
No,
Oh
he would
man,
never ever come. I would even discuss him on this because he proved me. I thought he had something when he went to Jacksonville. I really thought this would be the time where you can see his potential and it takes off. Because all Buffalo was doing was just throwing them go balls. So I just thought that being in a system where he's number two, maybe the number three target getter, I thought he'd see more, but nah. He just a downfield threat, vertical, that's it.
I feel like it might change during the season because we got a few targets out the way. Evan Ingram gone. Like you said, Christian Kirk is gone. We got a new quarterback at the helm potentially for at least 4 weeks. So there's a new pecking order going into that season. And when we talk about the system, if we already call Brian Thomas, the Mike Evans in Jacksonville, Jacksonville needs a Chris Godwin. It can't be Preston Washington. It's got to go to the number two. We got Kirk is gone, Evan Ingram's gone. Unless we really going to fulfill that fantasy of NTN playing in the slot, which we won't do, he got to see an uptick.
I mean, valid points. Valid points. I would say, yeah, those some valid points you right about Gabe Davis. I still ain't no way I'm gonna think about him anything though. But at number
Championship.
at number 6, I got St. Brown. I would have had him in front of Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. if the offensive coordinator was still there. So by what's his name? Lane? No, it's not Lane Johnson. What's that coordinator name? Ben Johnson. By Ben Johnson going in division to offensive coordinator for the Lions for the past 2-3 years. Always had a top 5 offense. With Jared Goff making him look like a top 10 quarterback, which he's not. And he's going to Caleb Williams and Chicago Bears. Man. So I dropped St. Brown just a little bit because he still got that chemistry with Goff. He's still the number one target. And he's not that type of player anyway to give you that explosive plays. He PPR monster. He will give you those 7 to 8 catches a game, 10, 11 targets, about 80, 90 yards. But he might have those games from here and there where you get those 1 or 2 touchdowns. Last year was his first year, I think, with double-digit touchdowns. So it was kind of rare, but he's still top. He's a dog, so I'm not gonna drop him. I would never drop him no lower than 6. So I got him at 6. I got Puka at 7. Ain't much that I can say about Puka, man. I don't really trust Matthew Stafford staying healthy. And Devontae Adams getting there is a little concern for me because Devontae Adams is 2 steps faster than Cooper Kupp, and he's pretty durable. And I seen last year and the year before watching his film, he still can get open. He lost a step as far as speed, but he still can get open. He still can catch the ball. So I got him I got Puka at 7. I got Drake London at 8. Just that connection with the hyper target in the last 4-5 weeks with Penix starting. That's the only reason. And I just like, again, youth upside. Is he gonna take that next step from last year? Because last year was his so-called breakout. I think he gonna have a better year this year. So I wouldn't be shocked if he finished in the top 5. I got Nico Collins at 9. I would have him higher, but I was a fan of Houston for 1 year, and they did what Dallas did this offseason. So I'm a restricted free agent. So if any team's looking for somebody that know how to manage a team, just holler at me. But yeah, I'm a restricted free agent. They did the same thing Dallas did. They traded away 2/5 or 3/5 of that offensive line. The most important one in Tunsil, left tackle, Pro Bowler. That young right guard or left guard that was on that rookie deal. I guess they didn't have the money or didn't have faith in him to resign him, so they traded him. And I don't see nothing in Stroud other than a pocket passer, limited mobility. Um, I'm not gonna rate him so low, but if you go to my quarterback episode last week, I don't have him in my top 24. So Stroud is out of there. You don't have no offensive line. One target in Nico. Bringing in Christian Kirk don't move the needle for me. Tank Dell will pretty much miss the whole year next year. I don't see nothing, bro. Joe Mixon too. A year older. All them curves and touches last year dropped him down too. But everybody got pretty much what's the name at 10 and 12. Lyle McConkey. He's a fucking Keenan Allen of the system, bro. It's that simple, just younger. This the one that I think you gonna say something about. AJ Brown. I got AJ Brown at 11. I'm thinking about dropping him on my top 12. Barkley is the X factor. They took the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands last year. Same thing they did to Jordan Love. After the bye week, they realized they was barely winning. Wasn't sustaining drives. Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love was making terrible decisions. Wasn't completely accurate. So of course you seen the blow-ups for AJ Brown on the sideline 2-3 times. One of them was reading a book. He's unhappy. By winning the Super Bowl, that kind of eased the pain. But once somebody win the Super Bowl, once you get that chip, that ring, I want my numbers now. So I want to be a part of, the winning culture. I'm going to be one of the reasons why. They won 4 games last year where he didn't have over 40 yards receiving. So, man, they could just lean on Barkley. That's why I think he could get hurt. So I got A.J. Brown at 11. T. Higgins at 12. What you think? A number 2 receiver is at 12.
Over a lot of number ones.
Over at least 6 to 7 number ones that I can say that can potentially have that spot. But I'm not. Hold on, bro. Let me say this real quick. I got him at number 12. Consensus have him around 12 and 14, around that mark. So I'm right there. T. Higgins was so dominant last year. I understand he has a great quarterback in Barrow and have another dominant receiver in Chase opposite of him. Taking away coverage and more one-on-one opportunities are important. I'm so high on the Bengals next year, I got a stat that will blow y'all mind. Last year, T. Higgins scored double-digit touchdowns. Last year, right? How about this? Higgins averaged a touchdown every 7.7 receptions. He averaged a touchdown every 7.7 receptions. That was 5th best last year. If this was a poker tournament, I would go all in on this offensive in Cincy. I'm all in, bro. I got Barrow probably finishing 1. Only reason I don't got him 1 because it is in fantasy football, rushing matters. He don't rush the ball at all. So there's no upside on that. But he's go come close to breaking the record. He came close last year.
Shout out to the Giants for letting Burrow break on like a 45-yard QB draw when it was like 3rd and 20. Just want to add that part. As a Giants fan, the man that has no rushing upside rushed on y'all. Get it right. Get it right. All right, so when we talk about system, and again, for our neophytes that might not understand how important the system is, for my age or slightly younger, you remember when DeMarco Murray was king of the bell cows in Dallas, right? Line him up in the eye, get downhill, and you see where that goes when he's lined up next to the quarterback in the shotgun in the Chip Kelly offense. Small things like that matters. Same thing with AP. You take him out the eye, you take him out of single back, and you put him in the shotgun offense. He's not the same runner. So I like the 6 with St. Brown. I would probably move AJ Brown out of your top 12 for the fact that Barkley is there. You know, having Saquon in your backfield is way better than having DeAndre Swift and Gainwell. It's proven. So you gotta give him the ball. You know, Swift may take a screen to the house, but he's not breaking off 75, 80 yards like Saquon. So, of course, you know, it's addition by subtraction. The addition of a superstar in the backfield is going to take away from your targets. You still got him. Got his targets early till the hamstring flared up. You know, you and I always talk about hamstring injuries. Somebody got a hammy, leave him alone. That joint will not heal that season, even if it's the mildest of tears. You know, even Beckham proclaimed he had a torn hamstring in his rookie year, and he went off. He had a strain. It wasn't torn. So I would move AJ Brown probably 15, maybe even 16. He was your 11, right?
Yeah.
Then you said you had T. Higgins at 12.
T. Higgins at 12.
I would probably move him up to 11,
Yeah.
maybe even 10.
I will.
But we got to understand that T. Higgins is like the other side of the Randy Moss. And what I mean by that is, yeah, he's catching a touchdown every 7 targets, but they all go balls. They all the 50-50s. He's not taking the dig route, you know, cutting in front of the safety's face and taking it to the crib, you know. So he's like that big body, you know, I almost want to say T.O., but he's not as fast.
I'm going to say T.O. because the way they use him at the goal line.
Yeah.
I'm going to say T.O.
Yeah, you know, throw it above the rim. I got it. You know, Randy Moss said, throw it over his head, dog. They can't jump with me, dog. You know, that's not a lot of corners out there that can jump with T. Higgins. And T. Higgins is the 1B as well, because when Chase ain't playing, offense is going to go through Higgins. Like, who else you going to throw it to? You going to throw it to Gesicki?
Gesicki, baby.
Huh?
It's my boy.
You going to throw it to
Chase Brown.
Jermaine Burton? Oh, man, Chase Brown.
Yeah.
What episode is he on?
He was on episode 2.
Ooh, what you got, top 8?
Number 10.
Ooh.
But that's pending the draft. I got a strong feeling they'll draft a running back in the first 2 rounds. And if they do that, man, that drop the value of him, CMC, Brees Hall. So
I would say first 3, not so much the first.
Okay, yeah, first 2 days. Yeah, so first round, second round, third, because running backs go a little later. So yeah, first 3 rounds.
Yeah, let's say day 2.
Yeah, day 2.
Let's say day 2 or later.
Yeah.
And you know, some of that does it affect Nico. It was all, you know, sometimes you got your sophomore slump for quarterbacks. Unless they ball in rookie year, you say there's nowhere to go but up. Only reason C.J. Stroud was down because he actually had a legit running back. You know what I'm saying? Damian Pierce ain't it. Yeah, he broke a few, but he is not Joe Mixon. I know you're saying you down because he a year longer in the tooth, but we all know how much you love Joe Mixon.
I still got him 17. I got Joe Mixon 17.
Yeah, so I think it's one of those, again, addition by subtraction, the addition of a good running back. I won't call him great. He is extremely good running back.
He's just consistent.
Yeah, and it's going to hurt your passing game because you got something to lean on. You know, you and I speak so much about Pat Mahomes and how he transitioned from this air raid offense. Now we don't got to do it right.
Top 10 defense.
I got a defense. I don't got to do all that.
Yeah.
We don't need to shoot it out. I can dink and dunk, kill some clock, let my defense rest, let them apply the pressure in the fourth quarter. I'm good, unscathed. So.
Well, all right, we're going to pause at that. I'm at, 30 13. This 13 might surprise you, Coach. But we'll be back in a sec. Welcome back. We had a quick little intermission. Had to make sure my daughter is good. But we are back on All Worlds Podcast. I'm here, of course, joined with Coach Rah. We was discussing and going over my top 24. He already got me ready to change AJ Brown and drop him out my top 12, probably 14, 15. But let's go hop back into the rankings. At number 13, I got DJ Moore. What you think?
Nah. 13?
A little too high?
Yeah.
A little bit or a lot? I'm thinking now as I'm looking and thinking about it, I think I got like 2 spots too high. But not too far off though. Caleb Williams. He's the St. Brown role.
He 15 to 20.
St. Brown role. Ben Johnson.
Is he now?
Caleb Williams.
You gonna move him inside?
He can do both. He can do inside and out. So pretty much like they do St. Brown. St. Brown, most of his are inside, but still he can do both. It's already proven. He can be the receiver that can go deep like a field stretcher, like they did in Carolina. When he came with Chicago the last 2 years, all he did was do those little quick passes. You know what I'm saying? Just try to get the ball in his hands. He can do it all. Still young enough. I think he's I ain't gonna say way faster, but I know he's faster than St. Brown. So if you giving him 10, 12 targets a game, what do you think he could do with it? But you're right. I think I'm thinking about it as I'm saying it out loud. I think you got a point. Coach Rick the one that talked me into it because I had him at. I ain't even have him in consideration. But Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams. I got Caleb Williams 6. I'm high on Caleb Williams. I'm high on Ben Johnson. And like again, one of my 3 ways of being dominant in fantasy football is offensive system. You really think Ben Johnson gonna go over there and turn things around? What they was missing last year? What's the only thing that hurt Caleb Williams other than the offensive line? Which 3/5 of it is already improved.
Yeah.
3/5 of it is already improved from last year. 3 great ones. 2 of them Pro Bowlers. Come on, bro. Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator. Come on, bro. A doomsday, 2nd year. Always watch out for the 2nd year receivers. Just think about it, doomsday.
Yeah. Oh. The flip side of when we do our system talk is sometimes we don't think about the flip side of the system. Case in point, one more time, we talk about DeMarco Murray, downhill runner. We look at what Shady did in the Chip Kelly offense. Right? Yeah, DeMarco would come. Nah. Right?
True. Because he didn't fit.
Yeah. If DJ Moore can indeed play the slot, can he run the slot routes? Right? He came in as that thicker body receiver, Debo before Debo, run through tackles and things like that. Does he have the hips? These pro coaches are going to talk about hips. DK Metcalf fell, big body receiver, ran 4.3, but he got tight hips.
Yeah, he don't got no quick twitch.
Right? So, can we from the outside plug?
Damn, I think you got a point there. Because he don't have that quick twitch like St. Brown, but a lot of people don't.
Right.
But looking at the rest of my rankings, I got him too high.
And do we say that Keenan Allen at 6'2.5"?
Yeah.
Is more quick twitch than DJ Moore?
He's not more quick twitch, but the way he get in and out his breaks, he can get open. Like he don't get a lot of separation, but he can get open. But I ain't watched enough DJ Moore film. I need to this year since I got the podcast, I'm gonna um put some little resources in NFL Pro where I can go back and watch film like a coach. So I can go back and just click on DJ Moore week 2 and I can see every route that he ran. So by having that advantage over the average coach, bro, I'm up there with the experts. That's what the experts do. They go back and watch film.
Technology.
So I'm gonna go ahead and put that money and resources in that and spend that extra time on just watching films on certain players so I can really evaluate it on something I don't know. So I need to go back and see DJ Moore. I just remember DJ Moore rookie year. I mean, first year with Justin Fields. All they did was use him as a field stretcher. So I don't know. He definitely don't have a quick twitch.
Let me ask you this: draft is next week. How many times you think you're gonna update your rankings?
Shit, anytime news come.
If we exclude any type of injuries.
Well, shit, just the day alone talking to you, I didn't goddamn switch 3 people already. So I'm like I said, weekly. I'm gonna say my rankings would change weekly. It's not gonna be nothing drastic, but my rankings would change weekly. But if no news, no injuries, everything stays as is, my rankings will stay as is.
Got you.
All right, so number 14, I got Mike Evans. That's just like the Patrick Mahomes one we was talking about. Just out of respect, man. I doubted him last year coming to the year because I was like, again, go back to age. For receivers, it's 30 when they start to fall off. I don't see no fall off in Mike Evans, man. Only thing that can hurt him is just him. So I don't see no fall off. The connection that he got with Baker Mayfield, I ain't even know Baker Mayfield threw for 4,000 yards and 30 plus touchdowns. I ain't even know that, man. God damn, he balled out.
Sneaky.
Yeah, he balled out. So I got Mike Evans right there. Ain't too much change other than the offensive coordinator, but when you have that connection with your quarterback like that, that faith that he could just give you the ball, bro, especially at the goal line, I'm going Mike Evans because he's guaranteed 1,000. 8 straight 1,000-yard season. So yeah, he's guaranteed 1,000. So that gotta put him in the top 15. So I got him at 14. I got Courtland Sutton at 15. He don't receive over there. Still tell, even after this draft, he's depending on the draft. So depending on this draft, I determine where I will. But I got them going running back. So that will make me feel even more secure about them having a running game with Sean Payton's system. Bro, I would say Sutton would be coasting. With I'm trying to think. Is it more a touchdown upside? I'm trying to think. Is it more a touchdown? I'm trying to think. Did Costa have a lot of? He was big body.
He got money.
Yeah.
He got money. He made it so that guys like what's my man's name? Lance Moore can get off. He made it so that Jimmy Graham can get off.
That's why I read the name. Evan Ingram, Jimmy Graham. They said when they brought him in free agent, they said he's the wild card. He's the joker. If they don't draft a tight end, which some people saying they will, but if they don't draft a tight end first 2 days, if they don't, I got Evan Ingram top 5 tight end.
Yeah.
I'm real high on Bo Nix too. If they get any running back, I don't care what it is, whatever the top 5, 6, Scatterboo. I don't care which running back it is. It's going to be 10 times better than what they had last year. I forgot what another thing that's most important in fantasy football, deciding which players you want drafting wise, picking up all free agent, or trading. Another key thing that we ain't talk about, offensive line. Denver Broncos offensive line was ranked number 2 last year. Didn't know that. Didn't know that, bro. They don't come on TV, so didn't know that. But yeah, they was number 2, bro. And Sean Payton's system. Why you think he got Russell Wilson out there so quick? He said, fuck the dead cap penalty, bro. I don't care. I eat that 70 million, 60 million. That's what Dallas need to do with Dak, by the way, but another story for another day. I got Sutton right there, bro. I would move him up if depending if they get a running back, I'll move him up. Matter of fact, I'm already moving Mike Evans and Colton Sutton over DJ Moore. So them two right there. All right. This is the one right here. I got Tyreek Hill at number 16. All right. I'm going to just go ahead. I went a deep dive into Tyreek Hill. I'm talking about deep. I got Tyreek Hill at 16. Fantasy Pros have him at 14. And the footballers have him at 11. I'm completely out on him. He's turning 32, going into his 10th year. He was tops in the league in drops last year. Did anybody notice that? I didn't. He still is the fastest receiver in the league, if not one of the fastest receivers in the league. You talking about quick twitch, he got it all. You know he's small, statue. Little injuries started to pile up. His wrist, week 1, came in already kind of sore through preseason. Got in the altercation with the police officer. Hurt it even more. So they say he was dealing with that all year. So maybe that's the reason why he was dropping balls. I don't know. He still is the fastest receiver in the league. He still can outrun most coverages. But remember what I said last week on episode 6. That Josh McDaniels. Is that his name?
Yeah, nah, Mike.
Mike McDaniels. Damn. Josh McDaniels, New England. Has taken away the opportunity for Tua to look downfield because of Tua injuries concerns of the possibility if Tua suffers another concussion, his career is over. And we all seen what the Dolphins looked like when Tua was out. It brought down all the playmakers. Achane was averaging under 11 points per game. Jalen Waller never scored over 9 points per game. Tyreek Hill was on the field. This stat right here, bro. This shit crazy, bro. That's why I say y'all need to stay locked in throughout the offseason, man. It's important. These small details will help you when it comes to draft. That's how you can dominate your league, bro. Like I do. Tyreek Hill was on the field last year for 906 snaps for only 959 yards. Last year. Just the year before, he was on the field 695 times. That's almost 300 less. He had turned it into 1,700 yards. So by switching up the offensive style and the major concerns about Tua's health, I'm out. What you think?
That's a fact. That's a fact. Now, I know Mike McDaniels comes from that coaching tree of Shanahan and had a little bit too much drink. What's my guy in LA?
Sean McVay.
Yeah. Certain positions you can plug and play if they have those attributes.
Yeah.
But having the right quarterback does matter.
So, what you think about them switching up the style, the play calling? The formation stayed the same. The motion stayed the same. They got all that speed, but you're taking away 25 to 35% of the explosiveness in your receivers. Everything was short when he came back from the concussion. It was more successful. He led the league last year in completion percentage. I mean, his turnovers went down dramatically. But like I said again, of course the turnovers will go down when you're throwing the ball short. But that's when Juno Smith took off. He went from a free agent waiver wire guy to top 3 tight end and finished the season. It was all hyper targeting of Smith and Achane. That what made Achane official. Achane really wasn't no good runner between the tackles. But I guess everybody should have knew that anyway with his stature, his body frame. That's why I think Miami go draft a running back. People will be scared away from him, but I'm not. I like a system now. I changed my mind about that too. Being in a committed backfield, depending on your percentage. If it's 70-30 favors the player that I have on my team, I'm cool with that. I like Breece Hall because everybody's scared away from Breece Hall because they say they go 3 backs. That's too many now.
Yeah.
That's just like James Cook.
Yeah.
3, but you see James Cook finish in the top 10. He's more efficient with less touches. Like Tony Pollard when he was a backup with Zeke. A monster, right?
Yeah.
When he get the starting role, what happened? Certain running backs are built like that. That way, got to have that frame. A-Chain ain't that one.
Yeah.
So, I just got him at 16. I got Tyreek Hill at 16. 17, I got JSN. Now, this the one. He finished 10th last year. I'm not there yet with him. I think last year was a fluke. I might be wrong, but he has to prove it to me this year. He downgraded his quarterback from Geno to seeing go Sam Darnold. He as high, y'all, most people would be high on Donald because of last year in Minnesota. Y'all need to think again. Go back and listen to episode 1 and 4, where me and Coach Josh went over what it means to be in that fantasy-friendly offensive system with head coach / offensive coordinator Kevin O'Connell. Every quarterback that played in his system produced top 10, top 12 quarterback play weekly. So I don't trust Sam Darnold, and because of that point, that means I can't trust JSN. At his draft capital right now, on Fantasy Pros, they got him ranked 11th. And the fantasy footballers have him ranked at 14. I got him at 17, and I probably drop him probably drop him behind Marvin Harrison Jr. and Garrett Wilson. What you think?
So we gotta realize that seeing go Sam Darnold is like 5 years removed, but he's going to a new team with the same system. I can't think of the OC's name, but the OC that he's got now, disciple of Kyle Shanahan. So there's going to be some similar verbiage. There's still going to be some similar play styles. Now, we can't plug and play JSN for Justin Jefferson or Debo or Ayuk, guys he might have practiced with. But I think, to your point, you're correct, because I will factor in the Sam Darnold from the last 4 or 5 weeks of last year, including the playoffs with all of those turnovers. Now I got to factor in, he's going to be familiar with the system. Here's what we called it in Minnesota. Well, here's what we called it last year in San Fran. We're going to create our own verbiage. We're going to make it work. We're going to plug and play. We're going to factor in that now JSN doesn't have the big body outside targeting DK. He doesn't have an old but still fast Tyler Lockett. Now he's got to prove himself, right? So Cooper Kupp comes in, helps out just a tad bit. I like where he's at, but I would like to put a little more respect on Sam Darnold's game going into a new team, but similar offensively.
All right, well, I got a stat for that Sam Darnold then. Take away the system.
Take away the system?
What he did when pressure came?
Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
Folded.
Okay, then. Minnesota had a top 10 O-line. A great offensive system. The offensive coordinator you talking about for the Vikings is Wes Phillips. That's the 2 tight end set. It's going to be heavy on mainly running the ball. So it's going to be a lot of play action, which Sam Darnold flourish on. So I give you that. But you wouldn't flourish on, you got 2 slot receivers. JSN and Cooper Kupp are both slot receivers. They're the same receivers. Where's the receiver at the top scratch that field, take the top off the defense? They don't have it. They don't have it. I would have never let DK go. Y'all was just using it wrong. He never reached his full potential. But don't get me wrong. Maybe it was time. Maybe it was time to let JSN really flourish. So maybe, like I said, I might be wrong. But I can't respect Sam Darnold. It's more on Sam Darnold than JSN. But I would say if I put a percentage on it, it's 60-40. 60%, the reason why I don't like both is because of Donald, and the other 40 because JSN. Slot receiver, bro. Come on, bro. And the system, Sam Donald went from a top 10 O-line, right? Do you know what Geno had to deal with last year in Seattle? Bottom third O-line, and he still led the league in, I think he led the league in, what was it? What he led the league in? Was it? It wasn't completion percentage. That was Tua. It wasn't yards and touchdowns. That was Barrow. I think he led the league. He led the league in something major category. But I really have faith in Geno, bro. I like Geno in Oakland. Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly, as you say.
Man. Oh,
and they get Genty, it could be a wrap. But anyway, another time for another episode. So that's the reason why.
And I just want to add that JSN was the first receiver taken in his draft. You know, and I think that you got to put some type of respect on
draft capital.
Even if, and it's different offenses, even if he's a slot receiver, Wes Welker was dominant. Edelman was dominant.
Dominant in fantasy wise though? No.
Your number 12, huh?
Fantasy wise, no.
For Edelman or for Welker?
For both. They was like top 16, top 18. They was never top 10.
Where we at right now?
I got him at JSN at 17.
We were right on target.
So I got him where I got him then. So you agree.
Slot receivers matter?
No, it matters, but I just feel like right now, until we'll see how the year play out, see what Sam Donald do in the system. Like I said, West Phillips, that 2 tight end set, more on 55-45 heavy, leaning towards running. That's why I'm hounding Ken Walker.
Did you pull that up right?
What?
Is West Phillips OC in Minnesota or Seattle?
Oh, shoot. That was Minnesota. My bad. Seattle Seahawks is, you're right. That was Minnesota. Seattle Seahawks is, give me 1 second. Seattle Seahawks is, Clint Kubiak. Yeah, offensive coordinator.
Ooh, wait. Kubiak.
Yeah, Kubiak. So,
Kubiak. You know who
I
that
like
is,
him.
right?
I like him.
You know who that is? Kubiak.
He comes from the tree.
Yeah.
So, I mean, time will tell. I have to see. Minnesota is like the team that you was hounding last year, and because of the system in Tennessee. Them and Saints, I put them in the same category, but by Carr hurt, I hope that the Saints draft Shador or Jalen Monroe.
Tell the Saints, man, the Giants phone lines is open. You can call us now.
I think they will.
Hey,
they don't like being mediocre. They always trying to make a push for the playoff because the division is always there. One game every year out of making the playoff. I mean, they had a bad year last year mainly because of a lot of injuries, but Saints always in the thick of it because the division sucks. But yeah, I got JSN at 17, bro. At 18, let me go back to my list. At 18, I got MHJ. People are upset, mainly I'm one of them, of his production last year. But as a rookie, that was a good production. That was a good sighting as a rookie. Rookie numbers, that was good. But it's all about draft capital. I've been trying to tell these coaches for years. When you say it. You mentioned it in the group text from time to time. Wow. He just got 2 number 1 first round quarterbacks for a third. People don't look at it like that. It's draft capital. Where did you draft that player in your Pacific draft? If you draft him in the first round, right? You at least get late first round or second round talent back in return. You trading for 5th round talent because somebody had one major game, one big game. You ready to just say, fuck him.
I just started laughing because shout out to Ricky. Shout out to Ricky. It ain't no shade, but I can't think of who I picked up off a waiver. I think it might have been like Tyler Croft or whoever the tight end from Green Bay.
Tyler Croft.
Yeah, he was like, man, I'm not giving you all that for somebody who got off waiver. Hey, okay. Hey, folks done won championships off of the waiver wire. That's you. So you got two slot receivers over the big body outside receiver in the indoor offense. Where his quarterback said we gonna get better.
You know, well, yeah, we on the same page with that, Dan. I ain't bring that up. Your offense in a dome, no weather climates.
I love it. Who I always got. I had two of them last
Bro,
year.
he said it all last year, bro. Every time we negotiate a trade, bro. The first thing, because we're in a two quarterback league with a super flex. Like I said again, the best fucking league in the world, hands down. Nobody that I have heard in the past 2-3 years have a league format like we do. But by us being in that two quarterback super flex leagues, quarterbacks are very, very valuable. So the first thing my brother always says, Coach Rah always says, is the system and the weather. He brings it up every time negotiating a trade. He held on to Sam Darnold as long as he can. He was the only one, and Coach Josh was somewhat interested in Sam Darnold. I know I won't. I had him at 26 coming into the season. Yeah, I had Baker Mayfield at 16, so I was off on both of them. Hey, all world fucks up too. But you're right. Being in a dome, no weather climate, nothing affecting you. That's why Jared Goff will always be in the top. I value, if I want a tiebreaker for that in a draft, is the dome over cold weather. Chicago, Green Bay, Philly, the Giants, Jets. I will favor, the tiebreaker would be somebody that's in the dome.
Yeah, that's a little nuance that we probably don't think about. Yeah, we look at strength of schedule, who they're playing, but not so much where. Yeah, we might say home or away, but you want to play in Atlanta in December. You want to play in LA in December. Right? You want to play in New Orleans in December, even January when it really counts, right? So, those indoor quarterbacks, man, I gotta have at least one.
I got MHJ. I'm ready to move him up. Of course, we already discussed I'm going to move him up in front of DJ Moore and Tyreek Hill. And I'm ready to move him in front of JSN. Especially at his draft capital. I think, let me do a quick research. I don't know for sure. They got him at 21, bro. I'm not that far, but I'm at 18. But I'm ready to move him up to 15. Because what a Kyler Murray said in the press conference. Pay attention, fellas. Coaches, females, managers. Pay attention to that offseason, bro. That offseason talk can get you a long way. Some of that stuff is just smoke screen, especially in this time of year, the draft and stuff. Some of it you can't believe. But Kyler Murray came out in an interview a couple of days ago saying that he needs to run the ball more. That's the only thing was missing from, well, other than not looking for Marvin Harrison Jr. That's why I said people down on Marvin Harrison Jr. Bro, I watched their games closely because I made a trade for him like a dummy. I traded Kyler Murray, I traded Jaden Daniels for Kyler Murray and MHJ to the potential champ in Coach Rick. That was a dumb move. I traded Daniels because of the rib injury. I thought with his body size, he's not going to hold up if he don't miss a game. He didn't miss a game. Look what he did. But anyway, hey, you can't win them all. That's why I love fantasy football. But yeah, I was high on Kyler Murray all season. Coming into the year, I had him number one. That's how I was on Kyler Murray. And of course, if I had him number one, I had Marvin Harrison Jr. in my top 10. So for him, bro, for him to finish outside the top 20, for him to have only 5 explosive games and the rest of his game is mediocre to killing your lineup. I'm disappointed, but you gotta forget last year because you gotta look at the totality of everything. What happened? Look at the actual games. Don't watch this. You agree with this. Most coaches look at the stats. Go look at the end of the game. What did they do? A lot of coaches don't take the time or don't have the time to actually sit down and watch a game, especially if it don't come on the main screens. So, but I watched Kyler Murray and MHJ, bro. A lot of miscommunication. Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't look comfortable at times. I thought he'll have great route running. That was kind of iffy last year. But when he was open, Kyler Murray wasn't even looking downfield, bro. They didn't use him where they should have, the way they should have. And what's his name? What's the coordinator? I mean the coach. Shit.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Gannon.
Gannon. He came out and said as well, I think a day before Kyler Murray said it. They going to use Marvin Harrison Jr. more. Kyler Murray came out and said we've been working on all season, all year. They've been tag teaming all year. Getting down that concept, that the breaking timing routes. I just think this could be the year where I know this is going into his second year, but I just think this could be the year where he could show people why he was drafted, where he was drafted. So I got him right there, but I'm moving him up probably to 14. Garrett Wilson at 19.
Finally, dang.
I'm moving him up too.
There we go. I'll wait on him.
I'm moving Marvin Harrison Jr., Garrett Wilson above JSN, Tyreek Hill, and DJ Moore. So I'm moving up 3 spots. So technically he's 16.
What's your main factor in moving him up? Your top 2 factors.
Well, the 3 that we didn't discuss, I'm moving them down, so you got to move them up. But the number one thing for me is chemistry. Bro, he played with Justin Field in college, bro. If y'all don't know this by now, why y'all think Cincinnati Bengals, and everybody want them now, Cincinnati Bengals, the stack with Chase and Barrow, go look up. They played on the same team at LSU. Go look up Justin Fields. He played with Garrett Wilson. The connection, the bond, that's a tiebreaker, bro. So I'm gonna move him up mainly, and also I'm high on Justin Fields not because it's rushing upside, it's because a team finally give him a chance. But if they draft a quarterback in the first 2 days, I'm gonna kind of be nervous about that. But overall, yeah, I'm a little high on the Jets. So I got Garrett Wilson at 19, but I'm gonna move him up to 16.
That's good.
I got Terrence Curry at 20. I don't think he can replicate the touchdowns. He going from 4, 5, 6, 4, 5 in his career. Nah, he ain't gonna do double digits again. Bringing on Debo. They not done adding to that offense. They going to draft a running back. And the way Jaden Daniels play, I watch damn near every game of Jaden Daniels. He spreads the ball. So I think, like I said on the last episode, I think Washington should give that call to Atlanta for Kyle Pitts for a 4th. It will unlock the offense. Zach Ertz is a solid old ass Jason Witten.
Yeah.
Know how to get the ball, get open, get in position, catch the ball, but he just falling. No yards out there, no yak. So I got Terrence Square at 20. Rashid Rice at 21. I'm probably gonna drop him on my top 24 because he's going to get suspended this year from last year, altercation off the field. So that's going to happen. We just don't know if it's 2 games, 4 games, or 6. And coming off the injury. So most likely after this episode, I will drop Rashid Rice on my top 24. But at 22, I got one. I got Xavier Worthy. One of the reasons, well, I'm gonna break down why. I got 22. I got Xavier Worthy. The consensus have him anywhere between 26 and 30. So I'm high. I'm higher at the receiver position. I'm higher on Xavier Words because of one of my three rules. The last 5 out of 8 games of the season carries so much weight going into the next year, not only in fantasy football, but in real life football, the NFL. Most teams at that point of the season already know where they stand in the rankings. Should they tank? Should they make a switch to either change the outlook of that season or just wanting to play the rookies slash young players? Because they know their season is over. So that really matters. So pay closer attention to those last couple of weeks. Xavier Worthy, the last 3 games of the year, weeks 15 through 17. He averaged 10.5 targets a game with 7 catches, while averaging 21 points per game in a PPR league. 1 point per PPR. 1 point per reception. I love those numbers. And again, numbers, women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie. I need to get that sound, that verse to add that on there. I love those numbers. Rashee Rice will get suspended this year, and he is coming off his ACL injury. They didn't bring nobody in that's going to take away targets from Worthy. Also, this will be Travis Kelce last year. He will be retiring after the year. I wouldn't be shocked if he's surprised he even retire. He's not even motivated. The only reason he came back last year to get the 3-peat. We all seen Travis Kelce his decline last year. So I'm high on Worthy. To go against the consensus, I'm higher on Worthy. What you think?
I think Worthy did indeed, take that step in being that receiver.
Tyreek Hill 2.0.
Going in, and we talked about this probably during the season. It might have been last season. Certain players got to get special touches. You got to get bubble screens. You got to get jet sweeps, the little jet pop pass. You got to get them going. And that's how Tyreek started getting off a little bit when they had that motion that they had to outlaw a little bit. I think that lower 20 works for Xavier because it's the efficiency, right? So if you're only getting 5 touches, but you're getting 3 touchdowns, you're efficient, right? But if you're getting 5 targets, 5 catches, 20 yards, you're not doing a whole lot. So that's a good spot for him. Rashee Rice, he's going to be a pup player. And, the league is going to factor in his suspension whenever he's available to play. So we could be looking at he only playing 8 games. What are they going to do in the draft? They did bring back Hollywood, right? Was it Noah Gray was
tight
end number 1 now?
They was hoping he'd take the step, but he just ain't do it.
So yeah, he's like a 1B top receiver, right? Your jet sweeps, your bubble screens, your slants. He might work on his route running this year. Might be something more solid than just a go route. So that's a good spot for him.
All right. Well, to close out the top 24 rankings, I got Jacoby Myers at 23. Very underrated receiver. Nobody talk about him because he's quiet and he plays for the Raiders. So they barely on TV. He's just a PPR monster. Do you know the last 2 or 3 years, especially being in Oakland, Patriots miss him. Especially being with the Raiders. He has averaged 14 to 15 points a game. If you just do the average out of those years, they'll put him a top 16, top 18 receiver. But people don't know that because he never had those explosive games. He's just Mr. Consistency when it comes to receivers. He go give you anywhere between, he never get below 12, but probably never go over 20 once or twice a year and stuff like that. But yeah, he's just Mr. Consistent. He's the Patrick Mahomes of receivers. I'm gonna just say he's just consistent. You can put him in as your third receiver and be comfortable every week. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to put him in the top 24 just out of that respect and those numbers. And to close out my top 24, I got Diggs. Stephon Diggs, Yes, I know. I'm going against what I just said about aging receivers. What I seen last year before injury, he still can get open. Yes, he lost a step. He's not explosive. But remember when we was talking about quick twitch? He got it. I still seen it. And he was a top 12 receiver in fantasy last year. And he was CJ Stroud beginning of the year #1 target. And that's with Nico there. He was playing out the slot role. He's going to the Patriots. Go back in the slot role with Josh McDaniels.
Oh man.
I like that. I'm looking at least 8 to 10 targets. At least 8. I'm going to say at least 8 targets. So you're looking at 5 to 6 catches a game around 60 to 70 yards. That's Jacoby Myers, what I just named. So he's just going to be a receiver that's going to just be consistent.
Yeah.
And he's the #1 receiver as of right now. I'm hoping they improve the O-line. I mean, the offense. I'm hoping they give him another weapon because I don't think he can just do it. But I love Pop Douglas too.
Yeah.
I just don't have faith in nobody else. So I got him at 24, but the discussion we had in this episode with you, I appreciate you coming on. It's 3 receivers that I'm considering dropping out my top 24 or coming close to going out. DJ Moore, Tyreek Hill, and JSN. And AJ Brown outside the top 12. And the receivers that I got thinking about moving up in that top 24 range is J-Mo. I know Ben Johnson gone. But J-Mo, you look at what he did. I've been trying to trade him all year, man. That was another player that I regret. J-Mo, Chris Godwin, age, injury, but got the connection. And Juwan Jennings. Debo Dardell, bro. Debo Dardell. Y'all see what Purdy did with Juwan Jennings the last 6-7 games. And please, 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 fantasy community, do not come to me in my comments talking about what about the last 2 weeks? You talk about the last weeks of the season. They was trying to see what they had out of your boy, Ricky Parasite. They were trying to see what they had. That was the reason why they made the trade away Debo. Ricky showed enough in those 2 games that he can step up in some type of role. But Juwan Jennings would be how my boy if Brandon Ayuk get traded.
Too late for that.
If Brandon Ayuk get traded, I'm putting Juwan Jennings in my top 20. Top 20. Man. He got it all. He fits that system. Perfect system.
You gotta move a lot of starting.
I put him at 20. You see what he did last year?
I did. I mean, he had a lot of boom games, but like in between though, it was like a big man.
But why though? I watched like one of the games I watched, right? It was the weather. Nobody could do that. I think it was against Pittsburgh or it was a snowy game. Like a blizzard. Something like that. Nobody really had nothing offensively. So, but coaches don't look at that. The average coach don't look at the climate. It goes back to that weather. You home or away. You in a dome or not. One game was the weather. Another game where, like I said, the last 2 games of the season, they hybrid targeted and focused on trying to see what they had in Ricky. Which they, like I said, they came to that sense. It was like, all right, sure, you're a first-round draft pick. You was high on him all year. But he had got shot. So it took him a long time to get on. And then, but what he showed the last 2-3 games of the season gave them the fortitude to trade Debo. It was time in a way. So if because they regret resigning Ayuk. I wouldn't resign him because he ain't in that digger before that. So I wouldn't have resigned him. But I just feel like they could trade him. And I wouldn't be shocked if they traded him in New England. They tried to get him last year. I wouldn't be shocked if they trade him in the league and take less. That's what's wrong with these teams. Try to be greedy. And you end up getting less. Brian Burns, the New York Giants. They could have got 2 first-round picks from the Rams. They end up telling them, a third and a fourth to get to the Giants? something like that, or a second and a fourth.
Second and fifth.
They could have got 2 first-round picks from the Rams. Bro, what you holding on for, bro? You're a losing organization, losing team. You're a rebuilding team. Get those draft. Get the draft capital, bro. You can revamp your whole team outlook just with one draft. Ask the Houston Texans, CJ Stroud, Willie Anderson. But anyway, those my top 24 receivers, man. I appreciate y'all listening, joining in. I love all the backlash, negative, positive comments I'm getting. I want it all. Don't hold back. I got thick skin. Constructive criticism is major growth. So I love it all. I appreciate Coach Rah taking his time out, his busy schedule, him being a great father, amazing friend, amazing brother, amazing cop. I appreciate it. I appreciate everything. He helped. Y'all don't know this, but Coach Rah helped shape me to be a better man the man that I am today. Just looking at his growth. And like I said, this is no have nothing to do with fantasy football. Just on a personal level, man to man. It's okay to like have someone, another male to lean on, bro, to talk to get through some things, bro. That's what's wrong with us men today. We don't know how to show our emotions or talk, let people know how they feel, but he's the perfect ear. He's the perfect mindset to get you through certain things, bro. So I just want y'all to know, Coach Rah, I'm calling it now. He's coming for all the coaches that doubted him over these years of him being in the bottom of the league. So can you please tell him, Coach Rah, so I can stop? Like, you know, some people say just let him talk for himself. So can you please tell the coaches in the league that says you are not that good, don't have the knowledge, make terrible trades, blah, 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 always finishing last. Please tell them what you gonna do this upcoming year.
So what y'all don't know is, right, it's, again, we talk about the system, right? If I want to replace system with league, our league is extremely trade driven. Right. So even though we have like that super flex and quarterbacks are at a premium, our league is driven off the trade. Now if you look at my leagues where I don't trade, top 5. Work the waiver wire better than anybody. It's when I make those trades, like damn. You look at early on before I got a rule that I normally don't trade until week 3 or 4. But you look at my preseason trade of giving up Jamar Chase. Horrible trade. When you look at what week was that you had him? What, 70 points? Week 15, 16, something like that?
Week 3 was when he went off because the first 2 weeks he didn't do nothing. He had 12.9 points the first 2 weeks. Yeah. That third week he had 30. And from that point on, he was the number 1 receiver.
There was that one game though. He had like 70, 60, 70.
That was against Baltimore. That was week 5 or 6 when I broke the record.
Yeah, so you know, it's the trades, and I gotta take responsibility. You know, we go back and forth on our group chat about certain trades. Certain trades I okayed. You know, Tank Bixby. Shout out to Ricky again, because that Philly stack probably got him his first ring. But you know, if I stick to my guns and I work my draft and I work my waiver wire, I'm top 5 just based off of this natural football knowledge. All right, I don't have to skim through the schedule, who's playing where on what day, Monday night versus Thursday night. I don't have to do that. It's knowing football. So I plan on going into this year working the draft, working the waiver, not having to rely on anybody else's players via a trade. Y'all gonna see a whole different Rah.
All right, so since you said trades, I'm already told coaches in the league, and I know I said it a little bit last year, but I'm the more and more I dive deep into the numbers and analytics, and doing this podcast, y'all gonna know who I like and don't like. So that's the kind of disadvantage I got, but it's okay. I wanted to share my knowledge with everybody that's tuning in, listening. But I wanna, since you bring up trade, hey, I'm looking for to get that first round pick, man. Can we negotiate a trade real quick? I just got something to throw out there. You can just say yes or no, or it's nothing drastic. It's nothing drastic.
There's a few teams that don't have a top 25 receiver.
Yeah,
Damn.
at least
I was
five.
over there counting.
At least five.
You got no Colts, no Browns, no Titans.
I would have Browns if Flacco start our year with Judy. Yes. And I have Njoku at number 3, the tight end, if Flacco start our year. Or if they bring in Shador Sanders, he'd be on the bench. And then if Flacco start the year, then Shador Sanders, I'd do that. But other than that, yeah, no Colts.
I think those are the only ones. No Colts, no Browns, no Titans.
I don't got no Titans in none of my rankings.
No Panthers.
No Panthers.
That sounds right.
Yeah, it's about 5 or 6 teams in the NFL that I don't even think about looking on that side of the ball.
I think all of those receivers we could think about on those teams are more splashy. You know, your Alec Pierce had good 4 games out of the year.
I like Josh Downs.
Oh man.
Over all of them receivers. The connection with Anthony Richardson. I like Josh Downs. But Pittman is your PPR monster. He's another Jacoby Myers. Pittman. He's another Jacoby Myers. He always gonna be I ain't gonna say hyper targeted, but highly targeted. So he gonna give you your 8 targets. It's just the question is he gonna get 5, 6 catches for 40 yards.
Year 2 in the same offense for.
We'll see. I just don't like how they going into the year by them bringing in Daniel Jones. I like that, but they say it's an open competition. Come on, man. Daniel Jones will win that. He's a better quarterback right now as of the present day than Anthony Richardson. So he's going to win it. So if that's true what they said, Daniel Jones will start the season off. I wouldn't do that if I was running the coach because I'd give Anthony Richardson one more time. But at the same time, I got to help him. I got to support him. So I'm bringing in either improve that O-line that was shaky getting old or give him another playmaker. And I'll go tight end. I'll go Warren.
If Daniel Jones and Richardson was in the same draft, would Daniel Jones still be a better quarterback? Because I give you the nod that Daniel Jones is the better quarterback, but that'll be solely off.
I'm always going to lean. If it's anywhere close, I'm always going to lean on. Since you said the same draft, so that means it's the same age. I'm always leaning on athleticism. I know Daniel Jones athletic, but man, the Riz is a freak of nature, bro. You ain't never seen nothing like that, bro. Yeah. He Cam Newton with speed.
Yeah. And I'm agreeing with you that Daniel Jones is better, but it's mainly off of experience.
Yeah, just experience.
Right? 3 different head coaches, offensive coordinators, still able to, at some level, produce, right?
I would like Daniel Jones back in the Giants if you take that contract away. Shit, I like Daniel Jones back there. You don't need no quarterback in the draft. Later on. But yeah, let's negotiate real quick. All I want to do is trade up. I'm at 7. You at 3. I'm gonna tell you why I'm trading up. I won't Chase. I'm keeping Barrow. Quarterback lead. I'm keeping Barrow. Chase might not get to me at 3. But I probably can make some shake if I get closer. So all I want to do is trade up. And what I'm doing is I'm just swapping later picks. So you go from from 3 to 7. So you fall back 4 spots. And what I was going to do is give you my 3rd. You give me your 4th.
You think Chase is a top 3 pick? Or are you saying you don't
our league. You know our league.
You know
our league.
Because you're talking about it now.
You know our league. I ain't even have to talk about it. Whoever finished number 1 last year in our position, they going high in the draft. I guarantee you Barkley ain't getting out the first 5-6 picks.
You might be paying a ransom now. I heard you want. Heard you want.
Oh no, I'm only gonna swap. I'm only moving up. That's why I say I'm moving up. I'm not gonna trade for another first round because I know I'm gonna give up a lot. I'm gonna have to give up my back-to-back second and third pick just to get the second and third round picks just to get your pick because you're picking in the top 3. If you was picking behind me, I'm not giving you my back-to-back 2 and 3. I give you my 2 and 4.
Pick behind. I guess that
Yeah.
makes sense because giving up too much.
Yeah.
Get back in.
So, like I said again, bro, I'm only looking to trade up because I know we can negotiate somewhere between just a round swap. So I give you my third, you give me your fourth, or shit, if it come down to it, give me your fifth. So you move up 2 rounds and I just move up 4 spots. I'm cool with that. I'm trying to secure Chase, but I don't even think 3 enough. Josh, number 1, and Ralph, number 2. Ralph is the wild card.
Shout out to Jack, because I'm really leaning on letting the draft play out. But, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can holler.
Bro,
Hey,
yo, I'm telling y'all audience, bro, he say this every year and then trade his pick.
To who?
Twice was with Rick, one. Yeah. So, like I said, you just trading back. You just trading down for me. If I was going to ask you for your third pick, I would have to give you my second and third round. Nah, that's back to back, bro. I came in, offer you nothing else close to that. So I ain't no use even asking for your first round, not giving you mine. The old Curtis would have tried to be slick.
You don't think you can work the draft without a second and third? That's too much of a gap for you.
Oh, man, come on, man. Look at the league, man, bro. I'm a beast.
Most of those are going to be quarterbacks.
Yeah. All the skill players will drop. So if I can get the stack, bro, I don't give a fuck about the second and third round pick for real. I got some late rounders, bro. I got some sleepers. You need to go back and listen to episode number 4 of my sleepers and wild cards with Josh. That shit was deep. Honestly, doing like what Jack said, what you said about let the draft fall to me, I just don't think Chase not gonna fall to me. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not willing to give up the second and third because the simple fact is, I got Higgins. I can get Higgins in the third, maybe second. I might gotta reach a little bit, get him in the second.
Still a stack.
Yeah, it's still a stack. So I'm okay if somebody say no. So like I said, I'm only trading up 4 spots, bro. You only falling back 4 spots, and I give you my third, and you give me your 4th or 5th. So I'm just saying you can think on it, cause I'm gonna get one of y'all. One of y'all go trade back.
Shout out to Jack. What up, HD? Will, Hunter, Flip, welcome back. Shout out to everybody. Who else I missed?
You said Flip, you mean Ralph.
Ralph is coming back.
Yeah. Cause Ralph took over Pop's team. So you got Showtime, Will.
Showtime, shout out to Cuz.
You got Sean. Yeah, man.
Hey. Draft next week. First round. You know, I think your fantasy lineup changes probably around round 3 because Mel Kiper, everybody got their own boards. There's a lot of good players out, productive players. Don't fall on the 40s and the benching and all that. You know, running in a straight line means nothing with equipment on. Look at that production. There's a lot of late production out there. So, yeah, shake it up. Pick up the Broncos players early. Marvin Mims.
Nah, bro.
Evan Ingram.
I'm down on. I'm in on that. But yeah, this has been another episode, man. I appreciate it again and again, man. I noticed 80% of y'all that tune in and listen and give me any type of support, can y'all just please take a couple of seconds and just hit the subscribe button? And also, like I said again, I will be dropping this episode either tonight or tomorrow sometime. But from this point on, I will be dropping my episode every Monday from the time span of 6 to 8. But again, y'all just hit that like button, share, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. One love.
Shout out to Pops.
Yo, welcome to the zone, the fantasy throne. All world vibes where the stats get shown. Play the wrong goons, dropping gems on the mic. Lineups get tight, every pick sounding right. From Sundays to Mondays, we making it clear. Trade talk with the grab strategy severe. Deep dives absurd like a Hail Mary spree. All world fantasy where legends agree. Defenses stacking, the points adding weight. Host dropping heat, don't you dare show up late. Dynasty dreams or a DFS glance. This your winning ticket, give your lineup a chance. All world fantasy, we break it down raw. Draft board champs with a playbook to all. High game dishes, the knowledge too deep. From sweepers to stars, we make your team elite.